Right now at 10, the former vice president of the United States in Wisconsin. What brought Dick Cheney to Beloit tonight? Just ahead. And while Madison residents aren't so sure, state lawmakers make a strong statement about bringing the F-35 to Truax Field. Plus, surveillance video out of Watertown as police hope you can help them catch those responsible for a crime spree there.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
First, breaking right now, Madison police are asking people to avoid the intersection of East Washington Avenue and Baldwin Street. This is following a fatal crash between a vehicle and a pedestrian tonight. Officers say the Dane County Medical Examiner has been requested to the scene. It happened at about 7:30 tonight. That is all the information being released at this time. You can stay with Channel3000.com for any further updates. Former Vice President Dick Cheney and former Governor Scott Walker held a public discussion tonight covering everything from Syria to impeachment to 9/11. Amy Reed joins us now from Beloit College, where students got to watch the event. Amy?
Eaton Chapel here at Beloit College was full. People from all ideological backgrounds here to see former Vice President Dick Cheney and former Governor Scott Walker talk about modern politics. Students from the UW Whitewater College Republicans Club were the first in line to see the former vice president.
For all of us in the club, it's something that we want to pursue in the future, or something we just want to know more about.
They're proud of their schools and their state's role in politics, and with Wisconsin being where former VP Dick Cheney got his start, he's pretty proud of it too. Former Governor Scott Walker asked about that and about 9/11. Then the crowd asked about current events like an ongoing impeachment inquiry.
There's just no question about the seriousness of it. It is a political issue.
He avoided voicing support for or against, but said we need to get to the bottom of what's happening and soon. On climate change, the former oil man said we need to do more, and the impact of our dependence on fossil fuels is clear. When it came to Syria and the decision to remove troops from the border, he was more firm, saying he has a problem with the call.
I like them. They're superb friends and allies of the United States. It's noteworthy, for example, that they've lost some 11,000 of their own fighting alongside Americans in going after ISIS and the radical Islamic groups.
Cheney's career in politics was full of different conflicts in the Middle East. Silent protesters outside the event showed their opposition toward one, the Iraq War, highlighting the death toll of the invasion. Any demonstrations against Cheney stayed peaceful, and Janesville and Beloit police stayed guard while the event and protests went on. Cheney and Walker both talked about being respectful with people with different ideologies. Cheney said that talking with people who had different views on issues was one of his favorite parts about serving as vice president.
Certainly an interesting discussion. Amy Reed live at Beloit College tonight. Amy, thank you. Current Vice President Mike Pence set to visit southeastern Wisconsin next week. He'll be in Pleasant Prairie at the manufacturing company Uline on October 17th, slated to speak about the president's trade agreement with Mexico and Canada. The state assembly has overwhelmingly passed a bipartisan resolution on an 87-9 vote in support of bringing the F-35 jets to Madison. The state Senate had approved it on a 32-1 vote earlier in the week. Several residents near the airport have expressed their concerns, mainly due to the potential increased noise from those jets. Happening right now, the city's finance committee is taking up Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway's proposed wheel tax in her annual city operating budget proposal. She included a $40 wheel tax for all vehicles registered in Madison. That money would help fund traffic and transportation improvements, including a bus rapid transit system. The finance committee is discussing it tonight, so be sure to stay with News 3 Now and Channel3000.com for any updates. A transportation expert we spoke with today said studies have shown the bus rapid transit system does work to improve traffic in congested cities. And while he does understand why some people don't like the wheel tax, he said there has been some misconceptions about where the money from those taxes is going.
75% of that tax is not going to the BRT. Most of that tax is going to police and fire and other city services. 5 or 6 or 7 of that would go to BRT.
The goal is to get the BRT system up and running in the next few years. Getting a look outside now, the rain and cold It is moving in, about to get our first real taste of some chilly weather this fall. Let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Dana Fulton now with our first alert weather. Dana?
It's about to get quite chilly outside right now, depending on what side of town you may be on. There's a little bit of mist, a little drizzle, and some spots seeing some lighter showers. As we look at our Doppler track over the last few hours, you can see those spotty showers sliding over. And we're looking at that to continue overnight. Not going to pick up a lot of rain accumulation, but it is going to be a little dreary outside. We're in the low 60s already, and Madison will stay there overnight. Not expecting our temps to drop anymore with these shower chances just continuing. For tomorrow, though, our temperatures are going to fall quite a bit in the low 60s early in the day, and then by the late afternoon, we're in the upper 40s. That's going to lead to some frost chances by this weekend. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead for the weekend in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you. Police are processing the scene of a quadruple shooting tonight in Milwaukee. Two of those victims are said to be children. Police say a 38-year-old man died at the scene on 38th Street. A 14-year-old said to be in grave condition, and a 10-year-old and 26-year-old were also shot. When officers arrived on the scene, they saw the suspect firing a weapon. A police chase followed, and the suspect was eventually taken into custody. Those two children who were shot were taken to the Children's Hospital. A Richland Center woman has admitted to killing the man whose body was found in rural Sauk County last month. 37-year-old Christopher Lytle was found dead on September 22nd in Fairfield off Levy Road. 35-year-old Amber Lundgren was arrested yesterday in connection to his death. Detectives found there was a prior relationship between Lytle and Lundgren, and that the incident was not a random act. Sheriff Chip Meister withholding specific details about the case to ensure that Lundgren gets a fair trial. New information tonight. Watertown police have released surveillance video of the suspects they believe are involved in a crime spree that happened earlier this week. There were about a dozen reports of property damage from Monday and Tuesday nights. Police say while the quality of this video is obviously poor, they hope additional video exists. If you do recognize anyone in this video, you are asked to call Watertown Police. University Health Services is starting a program geared toward helping UW-Madison students prevent suicide on campus. The 90-minute online program helps students recognize when peers are in distress, respond in an effective way, and refer them to resources. After surveys showing students are more likely to tell a friend about thoughts of suicide before they tell a mental health provider. UHS implemented the new program so that students can most effectively help a friend in need.
We will pass by someone who's crying, or we'll have a friend who says something that seems a little bit concerning, but because mental health and suicidality are so stigmatized, we will convince ourselves that that person is probably okay.
Right now, any UW-Madison student, faculty member, or staff member can log into their online account, enroll in the program, and proceed through 4 modules. Dyer says the program is not meant for emergency situations. If you feel a person needs immediate assistance, you should call 911 or the suicide hotline. A special night for Unity Point Health Meriter Hospital. Tonight was the ribbon cutting ceremony and grand opening of the newly expanded child and adolescent psychiatry program. They say it is the only inpatient unit of its kind in all of South Central Wisconsin. They say the expansion doubles the footprint of the existing building, adds more therapeutic space, a meditation room, as well as a new classroom and programming. At the Capitol today, the Assembly recognized First Responders of the Year. There were 99 honorees, including Racine Police Officer John Hetland and Milwaukee Officer Matthew Rittner, who were both killed in the line of duty. Dane County Sheriff Dave Mahoney also honored, along with Middleton Police Chief Chuck Folk, who is retiring at the end of the year after 38 years of service. And in Milwaukee, a county bus driver being hailed a hero for helping save people from a burning apartment building. Today, Shanae Brown was named Honorary Chief for the Day by the Milwaukee Fire Department. It was on her route in early January when she saw flames coming from the window of a home. Video from inside the bus shows Brown leap into action after spotting those flames. She then would pound on the door of the home to help people inside get out safely.
Shanae heard the voices of other kids who were still inside. She decided to run into the burning apartment unit, where she tried using a resident's fire extinguisher to put out the fire. Unfortunately, the device was not working properly. Moments later, police officers and firefighters pulled up to the scene and successfully extinguished the fire.
Brown would spend the day today alongside the fire department and the Red Cross to canvass the neighborhood to check for working smoke detectors and install new ones if needed. The ice castles will be returning to Lake Geneva this winter, but they will be constructed at a new location this year. Construction is expected to start later this month or early November at the Geneva National Resort and Club. The plan is for the new location to open in early January, weather permitting. Still ahead tonight, your updated forecast as some rain and chilly weather moves into Wisconsin. But first, as it becomes more popular, we'll explore the changing economics of solar power and if going solar makes sense here in Wisconsin. Southern Wisconsin is turning to solar power now more than ever. It's a big part of Madison's push to be powered 100% by renewable energy sources by 2030. But does it actually make sense around here? Will climate change make the future of solar power in our area a bit cloudy? Meteorologist Dave Caulfield finds out. It's a story you'll only see on News 3 Now.
From homes to businesses and even schools, Southern Wisconsin is in the midst of a palpable power shift. Solar power is getting its time in the sunlight.
And then growing at 30% a year or so, it could become, a pretty substantial technology. And, there's studies that say solar could be 50% of our electricity within 10 or 15 or 20 years.
Greg Nemeth is a UW professor of public affairs. He's been studying solar energy for about 20 years. He says the reason for the spike in demand for solar is that costs keep coming down.
But in the last couple of years, people are starting to install solar because it's a cheap way of making electricity.
Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes-Conway agrees.
The economics of solar makes sense for almost anyone.
Anyone, including city leaders. Madison officials plan to install 1 megawatt worth of solar panels on city facilities by next year. They're also working with MG&E to purchase 5 megawatts of power from a local solar farm that will meet about 20% of the city's electricity load. For Rhodes-Conway, investing in solar isn't just about economics, it's about environmental impact as well.
So everything that we can do at the city level and here in the community in Madison is important. And it's all about reducing emissions.
Madison, however, can often suffer from a lack of sunshine. From January through September of 2019, less than 1 out of every 5 days has featured clear skies. Nemeth says southern Wisconsin already comes into the fight with a costly disadvantage.
So just because we're living further north and in a cloudier place, solar is twice as expensive here as it would be in Phoenix, Arizona, or some other sunny place. So on a cloudy day, you could have less than half of the electricity that you would on a sunny day.
But what if the cloudy trend continues in Madison in the future?
So that's a big question, actually, in climate science right now, is what will the role of clouds be?
UW meteorologist Jonathan Martin says a warmer world due to climate change will definitely mean more water vapor will be available in the atmosphere. This will translate to more frequent heavy rain events across southern Wisconsin. However, it's unclear what that will mean for sky conditions.
We don't really know in terms of cloudiness what we'll get in the future.
Nemeth says while he's keeping an eye on climate trends, he doesn't view the potential for more cloudy days as a big risk. But a sudden change in sky conditions, because of a thundercloud, for example, is a different story and can have a major impact on energy output.
If you've got a really big solar farm and a thundercloud in, say, 5 or 10 minutes covers that up, and the output goes from 100% to, say, 25%, all of a sudden that's maybe 100 megawatts of electricity you don't have that needs to be made up elsewhere.
Nemeth says that while manageable, the grid needs to deal with changes in power output due to Mother Nature more effectively than it does now. Despite these challenges, experts say solar is here to stay in southern Wisconsin. And with dozens of projects either already online or in the pipeline, southern Wisconsin will be chasing the sun for years to come.
I think that really shows that solar is for real now and that people are installing solar because it's the cheapest way to make electricity, and in a place like Wisconsin even. And so I think I would expect to see more of that.
In Madison, I'm meteorologist Dave Caulfield for News 3 Now.
And Greg also added that the type of clouds that Wisconsin sees in the future will play a big role in not only the amount of solar energy produced, but also in how much warming the area sees due to climate change. It was 1 year ago today, Hurricane Michael blew away homes and businesses in parts of the Florida Panhandle. The Category 5 hurricane barreled into Mexico Beach, Florida, wind speeds of more than 150 miles an hour. A year later, reminders of the deadly storm are everywhere. The hurricane, blamed for 16 deaths, caused about $25 billion of damage here in the United States alone. We're into, what is this, October 10th now? Almost out of hurricane season,
Very
right?
close. And of course, that was Michael a year ago. It was Irma this time 2 years ago. And now I believe we're at O or P. So it's just funny over the years.
Hoping it's over.
Yes.
We're looking at some chilly weather coming our way.
Yes, a very different switch towards fall. We've had some nice sunshine for the last few days. Today was a little dreary outside, but by this weekend, it is going to cool down quite a bit. Looking at our Doppler track right now, we do have a few scattered showers, no thunderstorms. Right now, we aren't picking up any lightning. This is really going to be the scene overnight. We aren't expecting any heavy rainfall to come on through, but it's just going to continue to be these scattered showers as a front off to the west pushes east, driving these showers through the northern Midwest and bringing some snowfall to our friends in the Dakotas. But we're going to keep the snow off to the north and west. We're just looking at showers, and then once this cold front passes, it is going to be very chilly outside heading into Saturday. Temperatures will just fall during the day on Friday. So overnight, we stay mostly cloudy. Tomorrow morning, your commute is likely going to be a little rainy, especially east of Madison. Notice the wind converging there as that cold front passes. The rain will end. It'll stay mostly cloudy, though, and the temperatures will just fall. We're expecting our temps in the afternoon to be in the middle 40s, overnight lows falling through the 30s, and by Saturday morning, we're near freezing, so some patchy frost likely early in the day. And the afternoon will be in the mid-40s for afternoon highs, so a little below average. And we are looking at the chance, a slight chance for a few showers to dip further south Saturday afternoon and evening. Well to the north, may see some light snowfall near Rhinelander and Eau Claire. Wind chills for Saturday morning will be in the 20s, so it is going to feel very cold outside. Keep that in mind. I know homecoming Saturday, you'll definitely want to bundle up. The good news, that rain chance is pulling away a little more, but it's still going to be very chilly outside. Overnight temperatures, now that we're in the low 40s or low 60s, will hold pretty steady. We'll stay in the low 60s until that front passes, and then we'll steadily cool down during the day on Friday. Planning on a mostly cloudy sky during the day. By Saturday, it'll be variably cloudy outside, so we'll get a little bit of sunshine with that light chance for some showers coming through in the evening and at night. Most of the morning should be pretty quiet because it's going to be so cold outside on Saturday. We do actually have a freeze watch in effect for areas west of Dane County, north and west. Temperatures are going to be very cold outside, and those wind chills are going to be a big factor heading into Saturday morning. So that does go into effect late Friday night and extends through Saturday. Overnight temperatures will hold steady. It'll be mostly cloudy with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms possible right now, but we haven't really seen much lightning pop up yet. Tomorrow, that high temperature will be very early in the day, and then we just fall after that front passes. Showers expected to just pop up really mostly in the morning and then a little bit later in the afternoon. Saturday and Sunday, very chilly outside. High temperatures will be in the mid-40s, and we're looking at the chance for frost both nights heading into Saturday and Sunday morning, and then again on Monday morning with our temperatures falling into the 30s yet again. Heading into next week, the good news, our temps will steadily warm up a little bit each day. We'll be back closer to average by the end of the week. We should be in the low 60s right now, but it is going to be a slow and steady climb. We aren't looking at a big jump back up. It's going to be a little cool outside even heading into Monday morning.
Yeah, next weekend looks a little better than this weekend. So if you got some more fall cleanup to do, maybe it's next weekend.
Yes, I would certainly try to wait for a little more warmer temperatures.
Stay inside and bundle up. Dana, thanks. Madison West girls tennis team with a big day at the sectional at Nielsen. We'll have the story. The highlights coming away next in sports.
The Packers have 20 players on their injury report today. Davante Adams didn't practice at all with a sore toe, while Aaron Rodgers was limited with a knee injury. But you can bet Rodgers is going to play Monday night against the Lions. Remember how we talked all preseason about what kind of relationship Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers would have as they got to know each other? Well, it seems to be working out. They've had a disagreement or two to be sure, but Rodgers is impressed with his new head coach.
He's dialed in. You know, he's a grinder. He works his tail off every single day, and you see it in the preparation and the way he is in front of the room. He's got a supreme command of the install every single week, and what we're trying to accomplish. Does a good job of explaining that to the guys and making sure guys feel really good about their role going into the week.
A temporary blow to the Badger men's basketball program. The NCAA has denied the appeal of Micah Potter, and the Ohio State transfer can't play until the end of the first semester. Potter is 6'10", 248 pounds. He's expected to be a significant contributor, but by losing the appeal, he'll have to sit out the first 10 games of the Badgers season. Camp Randall Stadium is going to get another renovation in the near future, this time in the south end zone. The athletic department announced plans and gave us a look at what the new south end zone will eventually look like. They're still setting a timeline on when the project will be completed or who's going to be the contractor. Current Camp Randall will be busy Saturday afternoon when the Michigan State Spartans and Badgers play at 2:30. Paul Chris says it'll be good to get back into the conference schedule again.
I see you back in the Big Ten, and I think this one will have all the things that you think about. It's going to be a physical game and facing a really good defense, facing a really good offense that does a good job running the ball and throwing it, and yet, you know, I like the way our guys have prepared this week, and got to finish that up and give ourselves the best chance to play well Saturday.
Tomorrow night's high school football game of the week, Middleton at Sun Prairie, live on channel3000.com, 7 o'clock tomorrow night from Ashley Field in Sun Prairie. Girls sectional tennis at Nielsen. What a day for the Madison West regions. Their #1 singles player, junior Maddie Bremmel, sweeps through the draw, defeats Verona's Meredith Conley in a super tiebreaker for the #1 sectional singles title. And in #1 doubles, the region's Camille Vadas and Sophia Gnigi have all the answers as they win the sectional championship too over Wanakee's Trista Ripp and Sarah Sowinski. Madison West, the team champion, so the regions qualify for the state team tournament in 2 weeks. Baseball, the Houston Astros will face the New York Yankees in the American League Championship Series. The Astros beat the Tampa Bay Rays 6-1 in Game 5 of the ALDS tonight in Houston. The National League Championship Series begins tomorrow with Washington at St. Louis. And today is Brett Favre's 50th birthday. Favre is retired, of course, but the Steelers, Redskins, Giants, Jags, Panthers, and Bears, they all have backup quarterbacks starting now. Just saying. We'll be right back.
Brett Favre, 50 years old. I still remember him with the braces running around out there throwing the football.
Yeah, he can still throw it, but
yeah, he's in great shape.
He's done.
He is done.
Don't worry.
Happy birthday to your son. I know it's his birthday as well. Charlotte will be back tomorrow. Both of her sons celebrating birthdays on the same day.
About that.
3 years apart.
Somebody's making a lot of money.
Happy birthday to Benicio and Gio tonight. And chilly weather coming our way.
Yes, a little cooler by the weekend. Now, overnight lows will stay in the 60s, the lower 60s for early Friday, and then temps fall during the day. We land in the middle 30s for Saturday morning. A freeze watch is in effect for areas west of Dane County for Saturday morning.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Have a great one.